If you ask the smartest people in the world, they will say that the universe is a series of overlapping fields. Essentially, what you have, I like to imagine a cube or a sphere with grids, different colored grids within them. And each color represents a field, like the electromagnetic field or, the field of perception or consciousness that human beings have. There are other quantum fields. I mean, basically what they're saying now, my point is that instead of looking at things as though they are particles, look at things that seem like particles as fluctuations in a field that behaves more accurately described in a way as wave dynamics than particle dynamics. And this was explained to me in the sense that Hawking radiation, when it seems like something is created and then an anti-something is created right at the edge of a black hole, the anti-something falls in and the something comes out, and that's Hawking radiation. But they're not actual somethings. What they are is the fields that surround the black hole, the gravitational field and so forth, are being manipulated in a way that they're behaving in such a way that gives rise to the illusion of particles. And it's not to say that these wave behaviors aren't as real as what we considered particles to be. It's just that's a more accurate way of describing them. So then it gets to this. What is life? Because you can explain, changes in a field to a point, but how do you explain a tree? Well, you don't, because life is the observable change within a quantum field. And what happens in an ocean is not just one wave at a time. Waves crash into each other and create harmonics. Those harmonics crash into each other and create third level harmonics. You understand what I'm saying? And so basically, due to the fact that stuff doesn't just stop, these waves, these fields were behaving in so many different ways. And things just got more and more complicated as time went on. And eventually, they tied themselves up in a little knot, essentially, and gave rise to higher level, I'm calling them harmonics because that's the musical term. And so it's all happening on a quantum level, is my point. The whole Newtonian world is just an illusion that our eyeballs see. And it's not even that good of one, because even our eyeballs function on quantum mechanics. Now, nobody's going to tell you this, but my theory is that we have entanglement within our central nervous system that allows us to synchronize our body parts and move them at the same time. To me, this is a quantum process. And birds actually use entanglement to see electromagnetic fields. Basically, I'm not 100% certain how it works, but it should be such that encoded in our DNA is basically a mirror that allows us to reflect the process that exists that we evolved to be able to interact with. And so when it comes to the electromagnetic field and our eyeballs, as they evolved, they were sensing and picking up on frequencies and stuff. And so they started to mimic these processes on a quantum level, the field within the person's body that was created, by zygotes that fucking moved around for hundreds of millions of years. And really, I'm not saying that no one's aware or no one's in charge of it, but I truly believe that everything we were raised to believe was ourself is just a fluctuation in quantum fields, but we as observers can influence them. So that's where our free will is. We are actually quantum gods that have the ability to manipulate reality. It's just very subtle in this paradigm, and the proof is in the double slit experiment, because what is it that changes these behaviors in the quantum dynamics of these fields that overlap? It is observation. It is the intrinsic connection between the universe and the observer.